Morning, welcome to Something Saturday. Oh gosh, that is quite bright even though it's kind of cold. um, so today I thought we would finish off what I started last week. So hopefully you did join me last week and you saw that I made those watercolour pieces, and at the end of it I said, and I'll show you what I'm going to do with it next week. So I've got a feeling the bin truck's about to drive past us because I can hear it coming. So we might head into the craft room. All right, see you in a mo. Okay, so today we are doing something called watercolour lifting. So I'm hoping that you can see this okay, and you can see that there are images here in the watercolouring, and here's one I created earlier as well. So the first one I did was this one, and then a friend's birthday came along and I ended up cutting it all out and putting it on a really special bag for her, which she loved, so that was really good. And then I've made up one that's a little brighter, so I thought today we'll have a go with the other piece that I created the other day. So this was the first one that I'd created the other day, last Saturday, and then this one is the second one that we actually made on Saturday, last Saturday. So let's just bring everything over. And the reason it's sitting in this tray is because I'm using water again, and I don't really want to get water all over my work surface. So you're going to need tissues, Versamark, couple of big brushes to brush off the excess puffy thing, whatever it's called, embossing buddy, there you go, that's the word for it. Oh, and apparently I now have embossing buddy all over my stamps. So you also need some stamps. Right, so when I did this one, I discovered just how difficult it is to see where you've actually stamped. So then I thought maybe I should be actually putting them all onto one, so that when I stamp it, I've actually got the whole lot onto one and I'm not worried about sort of like going in and stamping over myself like I have here. I've stamped like a couple of times because I wasn't sure that it was actually going to work. So yeah, that's just an extra plan really. So I'm using Eden's Garden for this particular card. It's just such a beautiful set, and I'm hoping that it works even though it's got the extra layering in it. And I've forgotten what the name of that is. Oh, God, bless my memory. My goodness. Alrighty. So, first things first is you have to make sure that this is really well puffed with this. Because if you don't, the clear embossing powder that we're going to be using, oh yeah, this is getting well puffed, will stick to all the divots and everything, and then it's just not going to work. So we want to rub that in really well, and let's put it over there. And then I've got my big flat brush just to brush off any excess. So there we go. All right, so the next thing then is to ink up really well ink with Versamark. So I'm going to make sure that's really, really well done. And I've just realised that I also need a piece of paper. Hang on a minute. Before I get too far, let's move that out the way, move this one in. As I say, really, really well inked. And then I'm actually just going to place that down on top of there and rub it on. I could stamp it, but I tend to find when I've got a big background stamp, or so in this case lots of little stamps on the same one, it tends to work better if you can rub the paper into it than the other way around. So, like I said, you can't see it at all. So I'm really hoping that this works, because if it doesn't, it's going to be a bit of a flop, really. And ooh, this is looking good. Be interesting to see how that turns out. Okay. So I always put mine onto paper and then just hold the paper in so that I can scoop it all back into the little tub, and make sure you put the lid on it, because the worst thing would be to then get the heat gun going and it ends up aiming into this and it goes whoo, everywhere, which, you know, is not a good look really. So let's see how we go with heat setting this. So you'll notice when the embossing powder has turned shiny. Right, so even though I pressed that in really well, I can still see that it's quite patchy looking. So I'm hoping that this works. And I can now see, I don't know if you can see this, but if you get it on the right angle, it sort of looks shiny, the patches that I have embossed. And I'm thinking it would be kind of nice to have something extra in these ones. So what I might do is just, which one embossed the best? Actually, looks like that one might have done. So which one's that? That's that one there. Might just add a couple more bits of this. Just maybe one about there. And yep, that looks good. And maybe even one on the other side as well. Looks all right. Yeah, I think that'll be better. All right, let's go ahead and pop that lot away again. Okay. Right, so that has done that part, and like I said, you really can't tell that anything's actually happened at the moment. So then we move this onto my tray, and in theory, this is where the magic happens. All right, we now spray it down with water. And we hope that this works. So you then take off as much of the colour as you can. Just starting to. And what it should do is it should then leave behind the embossed bits as darker images. Which I think it is doing, so that's a relief. Maybe I should be rubbing this in or something so that oh yeah, look at that. That's coming up well now. Just do oh hello. That was clever, wasn't it? I thought the lid was still on it, so I pulled. It's a good job the spray nozzle thing goes back on so easily. Cool. Well, I'm not 100% convinced that the large image was the best one to use, but I quite like these smaller images on it. So there you go. So that is how you do watercolour lifting. And I will go ahead and make these up into cards. So hopefully I might add a short little extra part to the video on the end, or it'll just be a case of hop over to my blog and see if I haven't. Okay, so I hope you've enjoyed this, and if there's anything that you've seen that you've got questions about, or actually, you know what, if you would like me to show something in particular, tell me, because I would love to have ideas and things of what people would actually like to see, because, you know, I'm just going with, oh, look at that, that looks interesting, and then I just go with it. So yeah, if there's something that you actually want to see, let me know. And thank you so much for joining me. Do feel free to share the love. So do share the video, and let's get more people in our little group. Thanks. Bye. Hello, so I'm just hopping back on again briefly just to show you how I finished these off. So this one, I was kind of thinking, woohoo, I finally got a chance to use these loose daisy embellishments that I got at the last on stage event, and I've actually never really used them. So I actually think they go really beautifully with this. You can see, hopefully. Hang on just a minute, let me bring it closer and refocus. There we go. So I've used some of the little white ones around the outside, and the yellow ones I just thought matched in really nicely with the yellow. So then I've gone with one of the sayings from Celebrating You stamp set, because there's such great sayings in this one. So that is that one. And then this one, so far, I'm just going to add some bling to it as well. So far, I've used a little thank you saying from the Celebrating You. And you can see with both of these, so this one I've just edged very lightly with the green, the granny apple green, which is one of the colours that I'd used in it anyway. So I've just dunked the edge of it into the ink pad. Whereas this one, I dunked the edge, and then I've actually gone over it with my watercolour pen and sprayed it a little bit with water, and then dabbed off the excess. So you can actually, in some cases, see where the embossing is still leaving that, I want to call it white, but it's got sort of more of a vanilla-y surface to it. And then I've gone ahead and added just a small amount of the melon mambo into the background there. So then I had this thought that I was going to add the flat adhesive backed pearls onto it, and I think they'd look nice, but all best laid plans change at the last minute. And I saw these ones and thought, these are the iridescent pastel gems, and I just thought, ooh, I reckon they're going to go even better with it than the gorgeous. See, the problem that I have with these is that I love looking at them, so then therefore they never get used. Because I look at them and go, oh, if I use them, then they'll be gone. Terrible, isn't it? So this one, then I looked at it and I went, you know what? All of these colours actually go really nicely with this. So I'm just going to go ahead and shove a few of them on. Which one haven't I used yet? This one here. See how they all go? I just thought, wow, that's amazing. And I was thinking that I might just add a couple of those either side. Hopefully that's about the right distance. And another one there. Let's just check. Yeah, that looks good. Feel like I want some more in there, so I'm just going to add another lot. That was really silly. That's almost in the same place as that one. So let's put it over here and put that one down there, and one of these. Oh, that's going to end up in the same place as well. Righty-ho. No. Peel that one back off. put that one up there and this one down here. Where was it? About there. Alrighty. So yeah, I just think that little bit of bling on it. Just going to stand up and make sure that you can see this. Let's just refocus it. Yeah. How cool. Quite happy with this now. So well, that's good, isn't it? All right. So yes, come and join me next week and let me know if you have a go at this. Okay, bye.